China's export engine slowed sharply in March, as war in the Middle East triggered shocks to energy and transportation costs, hurting global demand and exposing the risks in Beijing's strategy of leaning on manufacturing to sustain growth. Outbound shipments grew by just 2.5% in March in US dollar value terms. Customs data showed on Tuesday, April 14th. A 5-month low, and far below the 21.8% surge seen over the January-February period. Economists had forecast growth of 8.3% in a Reuters poll. A sharp 27.8% surge in imports, the strongest since November 2021, weighed on the balance. That compared with a 19.8% increase in January to February, and forecasts for 11.2% growth. China's status as the world's largest manufacturer and energy importer leaves it acutely exposed to a global energy shock. Diversified supplies and large oil reserves offer some protection, but uncertainty over the conflict's duration risks undermining artificial intelligence-fueled demand for chips and servers, blurring the growth picture. According to customs statistics, China's total goods trade in the first quarter of this year reached 11.84 trillion yuan, $1.73 trillion US dollars, up 15% year-on-year. Of this, exports were 6.85 trillion yuan, $1 trillion US dollars, up 11.9%. Imports were 4.99 trillion yuan, $730.6 billion US dollars, up 19.6%. China's imports and exports achieved relatively rapid growth in the first quarter. The key lies in the solid foundation, sufficient vitality, and strong momentum of China's foreign trade. A solid foundation is mainly reflected in the overall stability of the situation, with a stable and diversified market. At the same time, we must also recognize that the current international situation remains turbulent and uncertain. Geopolitical conflicts are intensifying. International oil prices are experiencing sharp volatility. Global demand and production are contracting, and the order of logistics and supply chains has been disrupted. The external environment facing China's foreign trade remains complex and severe. Spokesperson of General Administration of Customs of China, L.V. Daliang, saying, "Since the outbreak of the conflict in Iran, fuel prices have surged sharply and remained at elevated levels, while the cost of oil transportation has risen significantly. These factors are being transmitted through supply chains, pushing up the cost of global commodity production and transportation. Global goods trade is expected to see a significant decline." The World Trade Organization's latest global trade outlook and statistics has substantially revised downward its forecast for the growth rate of global goods trade volume. Our statistical data also show that China's imports and exports with the Middle East region in March shifted from year-on-year growth in the first 2 months to a decline. China has consistently advocated resolving disputes through political and diplomatic means, and has been actively committed to promoting peace and facilitating reconciliation. We hope that all parties can work together to push for an early de-escalation of the situation and restore peace and stability in the Strait region and the Middle East.